Welcome back to Eye on South Asia. We have some news from Pakistan. The NATO forces, through their bombardments, killed Pakistan military forces. They say it's by accident. But that is causing a lot of concern because Pakistan has been an ally of US in the war against terrorism. And they've been steadfast in their commitment so far to work with US government to curb and to stamp out terrorism. Now, what is happening in the province? The US military and the NATO forces, hit the Pakistan soldiers who are supposed to protect the country and who are loyal to the US forces in curbing terrorism and stomping out terrorism. And that has created a lot of heartburns because Pakistan is a democratic country where you have president and the prime minister. They're doing everything. Every country faces terrorism, not only Pakistan. But they're very sincere in combating terrorism. And this particular incident has really affected the morale. And they were saying, just that particular province, NATO forces, American forces, go back. We don't want you.
Right.
Because we feel the pain. When you kill an armed forces, where do they kill armed forces? Only when there's a war. One country's army kills other country's army. Not the friendly countries, they don't kill the armies, though they call it accidental. So that's one particular point to be made.
Right.
Now, of course, now we find a lot of good relations happening between the two countries. And recently the talks, the Indian government has said they're going to renew the talks with Pakistan and extend a friendly hand. And the progress between the two countries is growing.
So they're basically trying to mend the bridges that they've burned, in terms of the attacks and stuff.
Yeah, exactly. And, the Pakistan very clearly told the US that we can't tolerate such things and you have to respect the sovereignty of nation. Well, sovereignty of every country is very important. Pakistan should be justifiably proud of its sovereign nation, and you can't expect a friendly country to go and bombard and kill the armed forces.
So this issue has been taken up not just with Pakistan, but also in countries like Libya and African countries where NATO has, gone in and done some questionable things,
Yes.
So do you feel like it's starting a pattern of NATO and following this sort of accidental bombing of innocent people?
You're right, Bhavna. I agree with you because sometimes the armed forces go beyond the limits, go beyond the brief. And what happened to Indian armed forces, excesses committed in Sri Lanka when they went as a IPKF. I remember as a journalist in India. Now, we have news from Washington. Parita Shah has been promoted in the Commerce Department. We talked just now how Indians are occupying important positions in the various departments in Washington. Parita Shah, of Indian origin, has been in the Public Affairs Department. She got a promotion, and it's a news welcomed by the Indian American community, the South Asian community, because Commerce Department has got several Indians, and the person who's heading the department, Trade and Commerce, is Suresh Kumar, again Indian who's making a mark. Now, we have an interesting news. A Desi designer has led the Macys Thanksgiving Day Parade in New York City, and that was the news in most of the publications. Indian Express has carried the news, and the person who led the Macys Thanksgiving Day Parade is none other than Bhavna, who's sitting here. I'm so impressed and happy that you led the Macys Thanksgiving Day Parade, and thousands of people all along the route cheered you. Can you recall that experience, how joyful it was to lead the Macys Day Parade?
Sure, definitely. I'm basically new to New York. I just started up a job at Macys, and there are opportunities for associates to become captains. So they have several performance groups in the parade, and each performance group has a captain that serves as kind of a liaison between those performance groups and the company. So we basically work with those groups and get all their logistical questions answered, make sure they're all on time for the parade, and just having the time of their life. After all, like you said, millions of people are going to be watching. There were about 3.5 million people there at the parade on Thursday. So, and millions more watching at home. So basically, yeah, I mean, I was actually with the America's Veterans United performance group. So they were marching with flags, you know, it was really the part of patriotism in the parade. So as we marched down the streets of Manhattan, Times Square, Herald Square, you would just see so many cheers for this group. I mean, they were really like the beloved group, and they're so timeless in terms of just their popularity and, you know, just the public opinion of them, just seeing the flag and those feelings and emotions just rush up. And so, yeah, we got a lot of support, and it's really a once-in-a-lifetime experience, so I was very happy to be involved in that.
How did your family feel that you led the Macy's Thanksgiving Day Parade in a big city like New York? You know, what was the reaction?
So definitely there was a lot of curiosity and just an interest in terms of, you know, what's going on in the parade, and just an interest to participate also in the future as well. So hopefully more Indian people can come down and participate in this parade and definitely be a part of America's timeless traditions, really.
Good, very good. We talked about the youngsters taking part in Macy's Day Parade. We have Upendra Chocola from New Jersey. There was a news everywhere. He went and spoke with the students of a Central Jersey college. Very rare for a politician to go to a college. He went and he took the role of a teacher. He was telling good things to students. And Upendra Chocola from New Jersey always feels that when you mold a good student, they become a good citizen. The way to start is from the young minds. You go and tell them moral values, you go and tell them good things in life, and they come up thinking of good. Like we used to have in India, all the grandmothers, I mean South Asian countries, grandmothers telling stories of moral values. Of course, that's lacking in the modern education system. But Upendra took the role. He went to school, he went to colleges, and this man is doing a wonderful job in New Jersey, trying to, you know, enhance the public opinion and also to inculcate good things in students and youth, because that's an impressionable age where whatever you say, that goes into the mind.
Yeah, I think when elders take that role of a mentor and, you know, use their knowledge and all their wisdom and expertise to really give back to the youth, that's very valuable. I mean, even beyond the education system, students and the youth can just gain so much more from a mentor on a different level altogether. So that's
sure. You find that Indian students are everywhere. They win every competition in the US. From spelling bee to Siemens to you name them, they are the winners. Now we have a story that Indian American students are participating in the Siemens competition in math, science and technology. And the list is so long, it takes a lot of time to read. But what it shows is that Indian American students have inherent strength in math, science and technology, and they're using to the full potential.
And an inherent competitiveness as well.
Exactly. As a student, how do you find, as you know, in your class compared to other students, how did Indian fare in science, math, and areas of interest? Can you say that?
Well, definitely Indians are, you know, known to be at the top of these fields. You know, they're always the ones dominating in terms of math and science, and usually tutoring other people, you know, at the middle of the class and stuff like that. They oftentimes take up leadership positions like research assistants or just tutors and stuff like that, just so that they can build their skills more. And honestly, that makes them, you know, even more at the top of their class. And I think that one challenge is Indians actually going into other fields like creative or performing arts, that sort of thing. So, but definitely Indians are strongest in the science fields, I feel.
Yeah, one of my friend, Professor Krishnaswamy Alladi of the University of Florida, was telling me that about 80% of the students in the postgraduate and doctorals are from South Asia, particularly from India, Pakistan, Sri Lanka, and also from China. And in India and Pakistan, and maybe in Sri Lanka and Bangladesh too, our education system focused on strong values in science and math. So that is very important. So that is paying dividend, because in both India and Pakistan, other countries, our school system is so strong. That's the reason we are able to succeed coming to a country like US.
And there's a level of discipline as well, which is unseen, elsewhere. So it's just, I think that carries over just
Absolutely.
culturally.
And when you talk about Chicago, the South Asians react to bill to make Chicago the 5th largest state. And they are doing a lot of real good stuff there. And South Asians also mourn the death of former Chicago First Lady Maggie Daley. And she's been very close to Indians in Chicago area. And Indians really offer their condolences.
Thank you, Prakash. That's it for this week's episode of Eye on South Asia. You can also watch us on YouTube and catch up on all your latest episodes. I'm Bhavna Vanan. See you next week.
Prakash Swami, see you next week. Bye for now.